Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens with the upset on Sunday Night Football. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals escape a narrow victory against the Minnesota Vikings 33-34 and a historic Hall of Fame worthy call by Gus Johnson. The Patriots continue to dominate on defense against Zach Wilson and the New York Jets. A lot to unpack here for the NFL season for week 2 of the 2021 season. We're going to be recapping everything that happened in Sunday's games, get you guys caught up with some takeaways. Also looking forward to tonight's Monday Night Football game as well on this brand new episode of Time2Football. Glad you guys are joining us. My name is Hassan Khan, the host of this wonderful show. You guys are continuing to join us in the chat, so we appreciate you guys joining us. If this is your very first time in the chats, just to let you guys know that we have a morning show Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. So you guys can join us, chat with us. This is a very interactive show, so leave your comments, leave any sort of questions that you guys may have, and we will be sure to dedicate some time to talk to you guys about that. Yeah, week 2 was very crazy, and I enjoyed just sitting on the couch watching 7 hours of commercial-free football courtesy of NFL Red Zone, and I hope you guys enjoyed that week as well. My Atlanta Falcons, gave me a little bit of hope when the score was 28-25, and then, they do what the Falcons got to do. Although Cordero Patterson looked amazing in that game, so I'm excited about him and his potential for this NFL season. But we are going to get into some takeaways for the season, just to interact with the guys in the chat. Miguel with his daily check-in. We appreciate you joining us. No excuses for you guys not to join us, because Miguel is joining us from Puerto Rico. What about you guys? What are you doing? Working? Pfft, please. Come on. You don't need a job. We learned that last year, 2020. So anyways, before we get into everything, we want to recap the NFL Sunday that just happened with some news and notes that is going around the league thus far. And I think the biggest news that goes around the NFL as of today, it's injury news. We have to get you guys caught up with everything that's going on. A lot happened. Andy Dalton, one of the bigger names in the NFL, he's injured. He hurt his knee on a scramble going towards the sideline, and it was a non-contact injury, which is never good. But Matt Nagy has not ruled out the fact that, okay, maybe Andy Dalton can return. Maybe he can be the starter. It's Justin Fields' time right now, I feel like. This is the time. If you need to put in Justin Fields at any point in the season, this is why I think that the NFL is so rigged. Because whenever there's a quarterback that is hyped to get in, and then you have a starter, and everybody's like, why is this veteran starter? Why is he playing? Just play the rookie quarterback, because he has a lot of hype around him. More times than not, all the time, the starter gets hurt. It just naturally happens. It's not because they play bad that they take him out of the game. It's because they get hurt. We saw it with Mitch Trubisky coming in for Mike Lennon a few years back. That didn't live up to the hype. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like before the season started, we all were like, oh, Andy Dalton's going to get hurt and Justin Fields is going to come in. Why? How does that I don't know. It's not rigged, but I'm just saying. More times than not, that happens. Anyways, Dalton, he's going to get his knee checked out today. Tua Tagovailoa, his ribs got hurt. Jacoby Brissett came in. Tagovailoa is going to get an MRI today to see if it is anything serious, and if it is, then Jacoby Brissett will be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins for the foreseeable future. Deontay Johnson, big name receiver in Pittsburgh. He hurt his knee on I would say the final play of the game, or was it the second to last play? Either way, it was a pointless play. They were down by 2 possessions, and Deontay Johnson unfortunately got hurt in the process, and he will get evaluated here today as well. Laviska Shenault, another receiver that many have labeled as a breakout candidate for 2021. He has been injured. He hurt his shoulder, I think, midway through the game against the Denver Broncos. He's getting an MRI here today. Tyrod Taylor will not be playing this Thursday, already confirmed by head coach David Culley, and instead David Mills from Greater Atlanta Christian in Norcross, Georgia, right down the road from us, will be starting for the Houston Texans, making his primetime debut. Brandon Graham, a big asset to the Eagles, has been hurt. He will not be playing for the rest of the season. He has already been placed on season-ending injured reserve. He tore his Achilles, unfortunately. He was a big reason why this Philadelphia Eagles run defense is so good. It was good against the Falcons. It was good against the San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Graham getting lost for the season is a huge blow for the Eagles. Carson Wentz, his ankle was hurt. Jacob Eason, the former Georgia quarterback, transferred to Washington. He came in to relieve Carson Wentz. Did not have the best output, threw an interception to Jalen Ramsey. So let's see if Jacob Eason is going to be rolling with the Colts. But by the looks of it, Carson Wentz didn't look like he was in too much pain. So I think that Carson Wentz will be able to go this week. And then the last, Trey Sermon, he took one NFL snap, his first NFL snap of his career. Many fear that he suffered a concussion, unfortunately. So he will be evaluated, see if he gets put into concussion protocol, and let's see what the outcome of that 49ers outfield or backfield will be, because Elijah Mitchell, on top of that as well, injured his shoulder. And that is your NFL news and notes for today. You guys are continuing to comment in these chats, so let's go ahead and just interact with you guys and see what you guys are talking about. Aloha, y'all. Rob Dale, you from Hawaii? We got anyone from Hawaii here? Hey, what's your favorite team? Is it the Seattle Seahawks just because it's the Pacific Northwest? I always wondered that. Maybe it could also be a California team like Las Vegas when they were in Oakland. Los Angeles Chargers, Rams. I don't know. If you're from Hawaii, and I'm very curious to know what your favorite NFL team is. Also, Alaska. Who do you root? Is it the Seahawks? I'm just thinking geography. Who's the closest to where you guys live? But anyways, okay. Yes, sir. No, I'm a Patriots fan, ironically, but from Hawaii. Okay. Gotcha. Well, hey, we're going to be talking about the Patriots here actually right now. And I want to talk about week 2 takeaways, what we learned from the games that happened this past Sunday. We're going to be doing this every week on Mondays. So I think the biggest thing that what we learned, we're going to talk about 10 things. I'm kind of go rapid fire, but also give a little bit of information on this. But the Las Vegas Raiders are really good. That is point number 1. The Raiders, takeaway number 1, are really good. Beating 2 AFC North teams, and not just any AFC North teams, 2 of the best AFC North teams. Yeah, I know Cleveland's in there, and they're going to be facing the Cleveland Browns later on in the season, so let's see if they're legit. But beating the Steelers by 2 possessions, beating the Ravens in overtime, the Ravens just beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's not like the Ravens suck at all. And the Raiders beating the Ravens and the Steelers, Derek Carr averaging 400 yards a game. Watch out for those Raiders. I talked about this last week. I was like, are they actually legit? I think they are, but I don't know. Hey, that defense proved, Max Crosby proved, they are pretty good. So the Raiders, takeaway number 1, are really good. Takeaway number 2, never count the Ravens out. Speaking of the Baltimore Ravens, 36-35 victory over the Kansas City Chiefs. Thrilling game. Flo Rida with his dancers spazzing out before they went to commercial break, if you guys noticed that. That was a little bit odd, but what wasn't odd was that Baltimore looked amazing. And it's not odd because we knew that the Ravens were a very, very good team, but people were ready to write them out just because of the outcome of the game that happened last week against the Raiders. Like I said, the Raiders, very good team. Do not count out the Raiders, but the Ravens, Lamar Jackson playing at an MVP type of level. It looked like in that Kansas City Chiefs game. John Harbaugh, great coaching. That is takeaway number 2. Ravens, never count them out. Takeaway number 3, here are the New England Patriots. The Patriots are back. Now, to an extent. They're not back to the days of Tom Brady, going back to the Super Bowl contenders. No. But the back to the days of having a stout defense like they have the last couple of years, but this is back to the defense that they had during the 2019 season. Okay, they had a softer schedule back in 2019, so that made a lot of sense. But I think that they are back to being an AFC playoff contender. With Bill Belichick, we know how good of a coach he is. This defense is great. Mac Jones just doing his job. That's the Patriots' motto. Do your job, and you'll be fine. And that's what exactly Mac Jones is doing. Takeaway number 4, Justin Herbert is going to be an MVP one day. It's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be this season. There's a lot of competition. Kyler Murray is up there, I would say, in the MVP voting, even though it's pretty early. It's only been week 2. But Justin Herbert one day is going to be an MVP. If you did not watch the Dallas Cowboys game, his first 17 pass attempts, 16 out of 17 of those attempts did not hit the ground at all. They were money. They were on target. That one incompletion was an interception, so that is his fault. But other than that, he looked great. He could have had 2 extra touchdowns that weren't called back because of penalties. One to Jared Cook, but Justin Herbert one day is going to be an MVP. The next takeaway, Urban Meyer came down to earth the last couple of weeks. We know that he was a very good coach in college. We know that he took this job only because Trevor Lawrence was going to be his starting quarterback. We know that there's rumors out there that he's going to go to USC. He squashed those rumors, but I mean, the college football, I think he's realizing that college football is a lot different than the NFL. In the NFL, just different defenses, coaching philosophies that you have to account for. And I think that Urban Meyer is having a little bit of a tough time adjusting to that. Do I think he's going to adjust to it? Yes, absolutely. But, Urban Meyer coming from the college football Southern dad, college football tradition, little coaching tree, then, yeah, you can tell that I am not the biggest fan of college football. Why is it that every head coach in college football is this older Southern dad type kind of guy? Why is it? And they're like, tradition. The NFL is just, I don't know. I love the NFL a lot more. It has better players, better plays. Athleticism is just better. So if you're an actual football fan, I love the game of football. I don't know. I like NFL much better than college football. Not hating on college football. They're great, but Southern dads coaching, it just doesn't make sense to me. Next takeaway, Teddy Bridgewater might make Broncos second guess wanting to trade for Aaron Rodgers. Ooh, hot take. I know, hot take. And I think they're still going to pursue Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying. The last couple of weeks, Teddy Bridgewater has been playing well. And he's been careful with the ball, like we know Teddy Bridgewater to be throughout his NFL career. Courtland Sutton seems like his favorite target now with Jerry Jeudy out. Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos are looking good. Next takeaway, we got 4 more. Jalen Hurts is the real deal. Okay, he's not going to get benched by the Philadelphia Eagles. He looks amazing. And I'm not just talking about his floor as a rusher, but I'm talking about him as a passer. Even though he may not pass it as much, when he does pass it, he is accurate. And I love Jalen Hurts, and this is why I was so big on him going into the season. I was like, do not sleep on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts looks good. The next takeaway, Texans are not the worst team in the NFL. It's time that we give respect to the Houston Texans. They were competitive with the Cleveland Browns. They were competitive against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars, as of right now, look like the worst team, but I would say that the Texans definitely are not the worst team at this point. With Tyrod Taylor hurt, maybe that narrative shifts a bit against the Carolina Panthers, but we'll see. But speaking of the Panthers, the next takeaway, the Panthers defense is actually very legit. The front 7 is probably the best part of this defense. But I also want to hone in on the secondary with Jeremy Chin and J.C. Horn getting his first interception of his young NFL career yesterday afternoon, I should say. And I think that the Panthers defense is going to make a mark in the NFL this year with Matt Rule. They've been building this defense for the last couple of years. They had an all-defense draft a couple of years ago with Derek Brown headlining them in the first-round pick. Panthers defense is great. The last takeaway, number 10, Jameis Winston continues to confuse us. Is he good or is he not good? I have never seen a player for the last 2 years that's actually been really good but also really bad at the same time. I don't know. But those are your takeaways for this NFL season, or right after week 2, I should say. You guys are continuing to comment on the live chats. Pedro Ramirez, college football, with the sleeping emoji. Yeah. Tradition. We love the tradition of college football. What we want to do now is we want to preview the Monday Night Football game. And what we've done is we've partnered with this app called WinView Games. And what they do is pretty much they have props. They ask you questions before the game and during the game as well. Do you think that this is going to happen during the game, or do you think that this is going to happen in the next play? It's actually very cool. I had a chance to play with it live during the Kansas City-Baltimore Ravens game, and it was actually really awesome. It's like, do you think that Patrick Mahomes is going to complete this next pass? Do you think it's going to be incomplete? Very, very cool. And I wanted to talk about that, but I also wanted to preview the Monday Night Football game in the process as well. Give you guys some props that we asked on Instagram and took polls on. What do you think is going to happen in this Monday Night Football game? So I'm going to go ahead and show you 10 questions, pregame questions only. Like I said, they have live questions during the game, but pregame questions that I wanted to show you that is on WinView. So let's first talk about question number one. If I can pull this up right here. All right. The game is decided by 13 points or fewer between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. Do we agree or disagree? Yes or no? And according to the polls that we took on Instagram, hey, 61% say yes. This is actually going to be a closer game than we think. Is that a credit to the Detroit Lions actually looking better than we think? Or is it more credit to or discredit to the Green Bay Packers getting blown out by the Saints and we don't think that they're as good? The next one, Jared Goff passes for more yards than Aaron Rodgers. Guys, this is an actual question on the app. So if you are dead set on Aaron Rodgers throwing for more yards than Jared Goff, which many of you are, 64% said on Instagram that yes, or no, that Aaron Rodgers is going to pass for more yards than Jared Goff, then go ahead and why not just take the prop on that? Sign up, use the promo code T2F, or click on the link in the description, winview.tv/T2F, and go ahead and make that prop for that question. Next one. There will be a defense or special teams touchdown in this game. Is that going to happen or not going to happen in this Monday Night Football game? Well, according to the polls that we took on Instagram, it's pretty much even. 53 versus 47. 53% say yes. Maybe they think that the Green Bay Packers defense is going to score a touchdown because the Lions offense is not that good. But it's pretty much even, so we'll see what happens from there. Davante Adams has 8 or more receptions in this game. Is that going to happen against the Detroit Lions? 69% of you guys say yes, it is going to happen against that soft Detroit Lions secondary. Next question. A player from either team will rush for 95 yards or more. DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, Jamal Adams, both of them have their 1-2 punch, and one of them could actually get 95 yards or more. We'll see. 75% of you believe, yes, it's going to happen. I don't know if you're thinking that it's going to be Swift, Jones, whoever it may be, but 75% say, yes, it's going to happen. Now, on to the tight ends. Either TJ Hawkinson or Robert Tonyan will have a touchdown. Will that happen? 92% say yes, it's bound to happen that TJ Hawkinson or Tonyan will get a touchdown. So the tight ends figured to be very involved according to your predictions. Let's move on to the other. Both Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff have 245 yards each, at least 245 yards. Both of them. Is that going to happen? Jared Goff looked great last week, and Aaron Rodgers, we know that he can pass the ball. 55% of you say yes, it is going to happen. Speaking of the live chat, Big Dog Pound says, I need the Packers to shut down Hawkinson. Listen, I am down in one of my leagues, and I need Hawkinson to get 7.5 points more than the Packers defense. Is that going to happen, or is that not going to happen? Leave your comments down below. Either team's kicker scores 10 points or more. Okay, so a field goal, 3 points, extra points, 1 point. Is that going to happen? I think that's a little bit hard, in my opinion, to do for a kicker, but yeah, so 74% of you say no, that's not going to happen. That Mason Crosby or Austin Seibert is not going to score 10 or more points in this game. Either team's, that's a typo, but either team has an offensive play for 45 yards or more. Is that going to happen? Long plays to Davante Adams or whoever it may be. 60% of you guys say yes, it is bound to happen that they have an offensive play of 45 yards or more in this game. And then the last question, who wins this game? I mean, it's pretty evident who is favored to win this game, and it's pretty evident who you guys feel like you're sticking with, the Packers. 71% and 29% are saying that they're rolling with the Detroit Lions. So now what I'm going to do actually is show you guys how easy this is to get on the WinView app and just make these predictions. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my phone right here. Put myself in the corner right here. But pretty much I have the app pulled up. Again, click that link in the description. winview.tv/T2F and sign up using that promo code and download this app on top of that. But you can see at the top right here, it has the predictions right here or the contest open. Goff versus Rodgers. Not a fair fight. Make your picks and kick back. $100 guaranteed. They also have some pools coming in for a couple hundred as well. So you guys want to take advantage of that. But again, we go down here and we can see the same questions that I asked you guys just now on the show. They're available on this app as well. So we can just go in and say, okay, the game is decided by 13 points or fewer. We go in on that. We can say yes, because that's what the majority feel like. We can also say that, okay, how many points? We have 15,000 points available to spend. We go head to head with a lot of people in this app. Okay, it's not like you answer one question right and then you win money. No, it's because you get a point system. There's a point system. You earn points if you're correct or incorrect. And you can bet, okay, I have 250 points. I'm going to go ahead and make that prediction and click make prediction. But that's pretty much what you do with all these questions, and you can do it live during the game as well. So the WinView app is actually really cool, really fun. I encourage you guys, click that link in the description and sign up and start playing today. All right, what we've got now is fan questions is now the next part of the show. I think that it's Monday. A lot of you guys like to ask your fantasy football questions, but with it being Monday, I don't feel like a lot of you guys have a lot of questions. So let's just go ahead and see what you guys are typing in this live chat. So is Rosales, do I start Rondale Moore this week over David Montgomery? It's a little early to look into starts and sets right now. But I can go ahead and tell you, you never want to count out David Montgomery. I would start David Montgomery all the way. Aaron Orozco, Darrell Henderson, question mark. Very good player. I don't know if you're asking about my opinion on him. I think that him getting the majority of the snaps in week 1, and then in week 2, they gave the ball to Sony Michel a little bit more. But Darrell Henderson, he's still the number 1 guy in LA. I think he's a top 5 fantasy running back right now. I know it's only been 2 weeks, but Darrell Henderson is actually looking very, very good. Is Cooper Kupp a wide receiver 1 in fantasy now? Yes, absolutely. This was by Tate Colville. I had Cooper Kupp on my rankings as a 3rd round pick. ESPN had them as a 5th round pick. I had Kupp as a top 12 receiver. And now it looks like he's a top 5 receiver. Matthew Stafford found his favorite guy. I knew that there was going to be a decline with Robert Woods, and it's showing that's very true because he favors Kupp, the emergence of Van Jefferson as well. There's a lot of pieces in this offense that they need to feed, and Cooper Kupp just being that go-to slot receiver kind of guy. Also, deep threat. Cooper Kupp is amazing in football. Miguel, I'll go ahead and answer your question. Do I need to drop Sermon this week? Wait on his concussion. That 49ers backfield is actually very confusing. And if I could give any sort of clarity on that, I would say that the one guy that might emerge as the starting running back for the San Francisco 49ers would be either Trey Sermon or Jeff Wilson. People forgot about Jeff Wilson. He's going to be out for a few weeks. But if you want to go ahead and take the risk-free waiver wire ad stash on your bench, Jeff Wilson. Put him on your IR. Won't hurt. What else are you guys saying? Pedro Ramirez. My buddy needed 20 points to beat me with Tyreek Hill and Mark Andrews. I love that, man. I love that. Tyreek Hill was actually very limited, and I actually had a buddy of mine, too. He had Mark Andrews, and he was facing Tyreek Hill, and he was up by 2 points going into the game. And it was actually just very close. He also had Harrison Butker, I think, so that helped out a lot. But I think he ended up winning. So congratulations to you. Ali Ellis, Hunter Renfrow or Ruggs? Are you talking about who's going to be the best receiver in Las Vegas at this point? I'm going to say it's going to be Hunter Renfrow is going to be the most reliable. But I think if you want a boom or bust kind of player that can get that long touchdown like he proved against the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's going to be Henry Ruggs. I think eventually he's going to emerge as that number 1 target for Derek Carr later on. But if you just are looking for someone that's going to be like, oh, get more targets in the instance, more than touchdowns, it's Hunter Renfrow in that case. Let's see. He may be referring to his rib injury. Are you talking about Darrell Henderson? I wouldn't be too concerned. He did suffer a rib injury, I'm sure, right? Don't worry about it. I think he'll be fine. Let's see. What else do we've got? I think that's it. Okay, we'll answer one more because we're going to be running out of time here soon. My bench consists of James Robinson, Gaskin, DJ Chark, Waddle, Jamal Williams. Oh man, you're want me to give you the rundown. Lions RB. Should I drop any of them for Marquise Brown, Ruggs, or Cordero Patterson? Man, that's a very in-depth question. A lot of information. Should I drop any of them for Marquise Brown, Ruggs, or Cordero? No, not any of them. I wouldn't. I would hold on to them. But if you had anyone else that's worthy of a drop, I would. But the names that you provided me, nah, I wouldn't do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap up this week's episode of Time2Football. Hey, we appreciate you guys joining us, as always, on this episode. And make sure you guys subscribe to this channel so you guys can stay up to date for future episodes as well. And be sure to hit that subscribe or that like button as well. Leave a comment down below. And sign up for WinView TV. Hit that link in the description. Play during the game as well. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity to win some cash. It's awesome. With all that said, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.